Mega Focus Group will present the new concept of rational sustainable world. The key mission of the group is to minimize anthropogenic influence on the planet through innovative infrastructure standards and manage the anthropogenic risks. The first fundamental problem is non-controlled human population. During 2 industrial centuries, the human population has grown from 1 billion to 8 billion people. It is expected it will be more than 10 billion people in the world till the end of current century. The second problem the group will address is urban sprawl and non-regulated urban development. Unrestricted growth in many urban areas of housing, commercial development, and roads over large expanses of land, with little concern for urban planning and architecture system approach. The third problem the group will address is the problem with transport systems such as traffic congestion, lack of parking space, unsafe environment for bicycles and pedestrians. The fourth problem the group will address is non-regulated waste recycling and water consumption. The first standard category is new urban planning standards. In the future, the infrastructure standards will be developed and controlled by World Infrastructure Organization. All the countries will plan their infrastructure through the Global Geo-Information System with future time-lapse. The infrastructure will correspond to global standards. The satellite technologies will control the correspondence of the planned infrastructure registered in the Geo-Information System and actual implementation. According to the new concept, any city will be divided into several urban districts with average area of 4 square kilometers. The buildings of urban district will share one common green park territory that must be at least 80% of total district area. The land to building will be one of the key metrics to take into account for the urban reconstruction plan, in line with other metrics such as increasing floor area ratio, decreasing road density, with average population density from 3,000 to 10,000 people per square kilometer depending on the region. The average population size of urban district will be 20,000 people. The key advantage of administrative unit called urban district will be car traffic restriction inside the urban district. The cars' traffic will be organized along the perimeter. Every citizen will take a part in design and development of urban district landscape that have to be registered in the Global Geo-Information System. Any citizen will be able to make a virtual trip around any city through the virtual reality. All the districts will be connected either overground or underground bridges for bicycles and pedestrians. You will be able to ride a bike around the city without traffic light. Moreover, the new concept of rational world supposes the bicycle lanes will connect cities and villages. The second category of standards the group will develop and control is requirements for new rational type of building, hyperbuilding. Hyperbuilding is a multifunctional residential complex with indoor urban infrastructure such as underground parking, kindergarten, stores, chillout zones, sport complex, district police office and other infrastructure. On the picture there is a tower with 50 overground floors and 7 underground floors. This just an example of multifunctional hyperbuilding that could have different architecture design that must be registered and verified by Global Geo-Information System. In average, one hyperbuilding is designed for 5,000 people and takes around 30,000 square meters of land. This type of building will replace the numerous buildings, increasing land-to-building ratio. The released space will be used for green territory to meet the highest requirements of urban ecology. The building will have luxury apartments with living area ranged from 100 to 200 square meters. The central part of the building is municipal infrastructure, which are engineering systems for technical water recycling and organic waste processing, including active fire protection system. 4 swimming pools for different age categories. Underground parking for 1,500 cars. Underground parking for 5,000 bicycles. Guest hall and reception. Every building will have a head of administration. Offices for municipal services such as police, medical services, building engineers, post and other municipal services will report to the building major. Kindergarten for 200 kids. School for 500 kids. Football and basketball hall. Ice hockey arena. Fitness. Indoor chill-out zones and spa. Meeting rooms and digital library. Concert hall. Banquet hall and restaurants. It will be possible to order food delivery. Showcases of different stores. The building information module of the hyper building will be based on unit components that have to be modeled in advance. It will automate the technical calculation. Unit components will be prefabricated. The hyper building can perform a different role. For example, it could be an university campus for 7,000 students with private studio apartments, or a big hotel with a parking hub for Hyperloop shuttles and electric cars. Every urban district will have the administrative center with unique architecture design, the central square with clock tower or oven mini castle, which will be the historical and cultural landmark of the urban district and the whole city. All the countries will have the compound index of infrastructure rationality according to current and future reconstruction plans. This index will motivate countries to create the healthy competition environment around the globe. The third category of standards and technologies is waste recycling. The water consumption is one of the serious anthropogenic influences. World consumes around 500 billion cubic meters of water for municipal needs every year, or 63 cubic meters per capita per year. The water supply system will have 3 pipes of water: drinking water and technical water for shower and other appliances, and third type is for toilet. The technical water supply will be fully recycled with a local installation. The drinking water will be a fresh supply. The first stage of water recycling is multi-step filtering. The second step is water distillation through the heat pump. The third step is electrolysis with separating the hydrogen and oxygen. The fourth step is hydrogen burn and getting hot water, which is being cooled by heat pump. As a result, there is no heat losses for this cycle. According to the data provided by World Food and Agriculture Organization, only 19% of total waste are being recycled and composted. 61% of total waste is organic waste and paper waste. The key advantage of the new standard: there will not be a sewage system. The organic food waste have to be disposed through a special kitchen appliance. It will be processed together with the compost from a toilet. The paper and carton will be a part of organic recycling process as well. One of the key component of the recycling system is centrifuge. The centrifuge will create a liquid compost mass from paper and organic waste. The special induction heaters and heat pump will dry the liquid compost. The result will be a compost which can be used to plant a tree. The non-organic waste will be collected separately and delivered by autonomous cars to recycling centers. According to one of the standards, the plastic waste will be recycled into composite materials. All the materials will be used for the infrastructure development. One of the standardized materials is giant Lego-like block that can be acquired by kids only within the special motivational program. Hyperloop shuttles will connect hyperbuildings. As a result, the future rational world will reduce the number of airports and railway stations. There are many different organizations which research and develop their own Hyperloop-like transport. These organizations are Hyperloop One, Zelaros, HART, Navomo, Hyperloop TT and others. But there are no single standard and it complicates the international integration. Most of the systems still do not take into account the continuous shuttle flow with minimal distance between shuttles on the high speed and possible turns to the left and to the right. Most of the concepts proposes very expensive and often irrational way of infrastructure implementation. For example, it relates to vacuum tubes which are not so important for local regional travels up to 400 km per hour. The standard will regulate the lane construction specification, PON system, IT and energy infrastructure and the way of turns. The unit economy will allow to design the roadmap with pre-designed unit components and get final construction expenses automatically. All the lanes have to be registered in the global geo-information system. The system will automatically validate the level of rationality of the planned transport infrastructure. The concept proposes 4 types of shuttle configurations. The first class is Class A, public mini shuttle designed for 4 people. It copies the function of taxi. The class will also have the modification for flights. Class B designed for long-range travels. The class will be available for co-owning model and as a public transport. In case of co-owning model, the shuttle will belong to citizens of hyperbuilding, but under control of Certified Transport Corporation. Class C, public shuttle designed for 12 or 18 seats. Class D shuttle designed for freight delivery. There are also could be different modifications of shuttles for the freight delivery purposes and for the use by special services. Let's compare the classic types of transportation: railways, airlines, bus and hyperloop-like transport. Average route speed. Average time lost before arrival and after departure. Average energy consumption per passenger per 100 kilometers. Average death rate per 1 million passenger trips. The average price per 1,000 kilometers per passenger. Average vehicle lifetime. Comfort level. In most cases, public shuttles will have FIFO parking structure. That means, the first parked shuttle will leave the queue first. As already mentioned, the hyperbuilding for guests from another regions or even countries will have multi-level parking hub for electric cars and hyperloop shuttles. The 5th category of standards is human track technology. Primary function of human track technology is population control around the globe. Every country will have population quota that will be formally agreed within multi-side negotiation. The digital passport will be stored in the global information system. The global database will not contain personal data. It will contain identity ID, date of birth, country, city, gender and biometric data and first name. Smart watches will represent digital passport with integrated NFC module. Watches will have different design. The digital biometric passport will replace the paper copy as a primary document. Two-factor identity control system will verify the biometric identification of the person after passing the first step of verification with smartwatches by access control system. To access any kind of transport you have to use human track technology as e-ticket. Every human track device will have the reserved mobile number with SOS function. Special forces may inform citizens about different events. Human track will strengthen the parent control. It will be possible to send voice message and text message between devices. The parents will be able to define allowed play zones located in urban district territory through integrated GPS tracker. If the kid crosses the allowed border, the alarm message will be sent. Only citizens and digitally invited guests will have access to hyperbuilding infrastructure. Human track devices will have e-wallet to pay automatically for different goods and services. Thank you for time and attention to let us share our concept of rational world infrastructure. Let us summarize what are the key missions of the group. First of all, the group will develop the new standards and technologies for a new rational sustainable infrastructure. It will be a fundamental step to further creation of world infrastructure organization. The standard, regulators and technologies will be developed in the following directions. Urban and landscape planning standards and hyperbuilding standards. Waste recycling technologies and standards. Human track technology. Autonomous hypertransport system. At this stage the group are searching for experts from the different industrial sectors, financial and organizational assistance to make a next step to build new rational sustainable world and the technological partners who will contribute to the technology development. One of the key achievements of the group will be the digital model of the world infrastructure that will be designed with assistance of the authorities that will represent different countries. The digital world will help to balance the infrastructure to eliminate the transport and building disbalance and take into account the feedback of regional citizens through co-design process. The geo-information system will regulate the landscape and building design according to standards, population number and international realty interdependence. In general, the limits of the infrastructure scale will be defined in the geo-information system. Nevertheless, the growth and demolitions will be possible through the national infrastructure change request systems.
Please do not hesitate to contact us and support the project.